to episode 7 of the Warren Buffett podcast with Matthew Warren-Katz and Steve Buffett. Steve, how are you doing today?
Poor man, I didn't invest in GameStop quick enough.
I did, so I'm great. I'm over the moon right now, frankly. I almost forgot how to do the intro. Steve and I are in the new studio now. We have upgraded. We will be producing our podcast in 1080p, because that's apparently a thing you do for an audio medium now. Um, we can watch videos and stuff together. We have a great setup. Some of our equipment is late. Steve's microphone is coming tomorrow.
Yeah, so if I sound like shit, it's half me, half the mic.
I think frankly we can just blame the global supply chain for not bringing you a microphone. And the only thing, yeah, you sound like shit because you're GameStop. You got, but
Yeah, I still think that Amazon, the 2-day shipping, should be in charge of the vaccines, but I've been saying that for a while now.
wait, yeah, can we do that? Can we just get Amazon to do this? They 2-day ship things every day. What's up with this?
That's what I'm saying, man. There's a major snowstorm going on across the entire country, and I think that's why my headphones are late. But
Hmm.
what's one day for the vaccine compared to like the 10 months we're probably going to be waiting?
Yeah, I mean, I frankly, I blame the USPS as I always do. They're, the reason our election was fraudulent as well. And
Oh,
yeah, just kidding. It was legit as fuck. Um, but yeah, did you not get it on GameStop? You didn't GameStop at all? The GameStop's
what's
here,
funny?
folks. The GameStop's here.
I read the article that was going on. And I was like, no. And that was maybe Friday night. And I was like, nah, it's probably nothing. And then like over the last week, it just exploded. And I was like, motherfucker.
I bought
And here we are.
I bought one share, and um
Oh,
I can sell fractional shares, so I once it
well,
tripled in
that's cool.
value, I sold what I put into it plus 5%, so I had some alpha on the actual market because I'm a hashtag savvy investor. Um, but yeah, I'm just kind of letting that zero point 0.6 shares or 7 shares, whatever, hang out for a bit.
Okay. Yeah. See if it does go up to 1,000 or 40,000 like Bitcoin. I get you.
I just want to be a part of something, you know?
Speaking of which, I feel like there are definitely some other things to be a part of just going on in the in the whole nation right now.
Yeah, but GameStop though is very interesting.
Oh, for
It's
sure,
actually
for sure.
not. It's actually not though. Everyone is just lying about GameStop. Like people do not know what they're talking about, and it's very frustrating to me. I find the whole thing very annoying. Have you? What do you? What? So you've been paying attention to it. What do you think? Are you not annoyed by how everybody is talking about this so flippantly? Like everyone's like a trade expert over the weekend. Like what are you talking about?
It's fine, man. I think like here's my rationale. Like if you want to just go in and buy a bunch of GameStop and you have no idea why that's a good idea or when you should sell, that's like like whatever. You're not shorting the stock, so I mean, your worst case scenario is that you just bought a bunch of shares and you lose the value of that. Like I'm not super worried about people that do that. I think I'm more worried about what this means just kind of like institutionally for like every time there's going to be like a short order placed, we have all of these people who are like, no, fuck that, and they like go save like I don't know, BlackBerry or Nokia or Enron. Just pick a company.
The idea of us all banding together and peacefully buying stock to save companies is quite a hilarious idea for a protest, though.
It's not bad, right? Soak the rich by buying stock.
Help, guys. BlackRock is hurting. But I get really annoyed though, like seeing all these people online talk about this. I've come to the conclusion that anybody who talks about stocks on the internet or on TV is an idiot, a liar, a scammer, or a combination of those three things.
You mean stonks?
Stonks, yeah. I actually wanted to talk a little bit about how ridiculous stocks are getting. I know that we kind of have talked about this a few times on this podcast, and I guess I shouldn't have been surprised that this podcast evolved into stocks and conspiracy theories, but I don't know. It's a fun time. Here, let me show you what is annoying me lately. So, like everything about stocks right now is ridiculous. Like people are um like talking about GameStop. Look at this, 68%. It's up. So have you ever used this website, TradingView, before? Have you ever seen this?
No, I've never seen that.
Okay, so TradingView is like it's like the stock market. You can look at. It's not like the stock market at all. It's a view of the stock market. It's like trading data. So like you can look at like all this kinds of shit on here. You can look at like the price of oil, silver. You can look at forex. Like you can look at like Bitcoin and kind of everything on here, and you can get charts. And the thing that I think really shows how silly stocks have gotten and how ridiculous most people who talk about investing and trading are is the ideas section. The ideas section of TradingView is people giving you their ideas on like what the analysis is based on like these charts that they're looking at. Look at this one. This is one that I wanted to look at. The battle of speculation on GME stock is over. Time to sell. And look at this analysis. It's just the stock going up, and then he put a label called the Locust Tower, and then a line showing that the stock is going to go down. It's like horoscopes. This is like why people are saying that the stock market is astrology for men. Look at this thing. Then they formed the Locust Tower. The Locust Tower? Like, really? I don't know. This just... What do you think about this? I find all this shit totally ridiculous. Like, this guy's like, last week's run-up in the plunge was very similar to the Saitkabao. Like, Japanese stuff. Like, it's all so mysterious. Like, oh yeah, that candle is bad luck, man. You don't want to see a pattern like that in the stock. Like, what are you talking about?
I've got a couple things here. I think one, the continued references to Japanese whatever just makes me feel like the whole like Reddit 4chan culture of loving or just having like a weird Asian fetish has now gone into investing. And that's one. And then number two is, I try not to go on these websites just because I log onto my Bloomberg terminal every day. But no, in reality, this is just kind of disconcerting. It's just like you've taken the idea of like Pinterest of just like saying, just like making stupid images and being like, oh, look at this. And then you're just starting to fuck with actual money. And that makes me kind of nervous because you get, so many people who are like, oh my God, the Locust Tower, I better get out and put this on the BlackBerry. And I don't think
Yeah.
that's healthy.
Yeah, like this is the same as like astrology signs. Like if you get upset with women like, "Oh, she broke up with me because we weren't the right sign." It's like that same dude is probably like, "Well, that candle formation is really bad luck. You're going to want to actually invest in silver now." Like it's all the same crap. Just uneducated, meaningless shit.
Yeah, and the thing is, at the end of the day, we're all just like betting against the machines anyway, right? Like,
Right.
how
Yeah.
many algorithms are going to be smarter than you, better, bet better than you? So this is all just kind of dumb, in my opinion. I guarantee you that most of these people have like no money in their 401k if they even have that option.
Yeah, I don't think most people know what a 401k is, but they think that like Robinhood is going to help them get like $401,000 or something. I don't know.
They're like, the fuck's a match? Fuck that.
I don't get why all these people are upset about what Robinhood did. This is kind of my hot take on it, and it's not even like a hot take. It's just kind of like the reality of the situation is when a stock becomes so volatile that it moves up and down hundreds of a percentage up and then down 90% in another day, like all back to back. The volatility is so high that the like market makers or the clearinghouse or whoever it is like going to demand a higher percentage of the money down that they float you to make this sale to give you this share. And Robinhood even took out a loan, or I think they sold more equity just to get cash to fund new positions in GameStop. So I don't know. They didn't do anything. It's not a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy if you don't know anything or what you're talking about. But I think that's why scammers love the stock market. Like people who are like, "Oh, join my class. You'll be my student. My students learn forex. My students trade options." Like, have you seen that stuff before?
Yeah, man, that's like every other YouTube video of just like some white 20-year-old be like, "This is how I made my first $1 million." You know what I mean?
It's that
And they're
laptop
just so,
lifestyle.
yeah, they're just so fucking annoying.
Yeah, it's totally ridiculous. It makes me really mad, but we do live in a country of suckers and scammers. And at the end of the day, the scammers are pretty good at what they do. So I can't really knock them.
Yeah, it's a good business model, right? Like it just kind of reminds me of this Lexus commercial I just watched where everyone was like, "Oh, I'm a gearhead or I'm a sneakerhead." And then this one person stepping out of the Lexus was like, "I'm a foodie." And just taking a step back, like you can really do whatever you want in this. Could you imagine like being in Somalia and watching that commercial on VHS in 20 years and being like, "I'm a foodie?" Like you can really do whatever in this country. So being a scammer, I think, is just part of that, right?
I think that we're an inspiration for the world. Nigerian scammers, if we're talking about Somalia, just I don't know. There we bring we have so many suckers too. I think is such a really important part that like other countries will be like, oh, you know what? We should scam Americans. Like the Nigerian scammers, like they have plenty of suckers over there. Let's call them up. I have gold for sale.
I'm a prince. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you mean.
Well,
It's really just incredible.
the Prince scam is kind of like an investment scam. Like, oh, give me $10,000 and I'll give you 20 million. And I don't know. The investments I think are kind of like the classic scam in America. Someone's like, oh, we have we're gonna revolutionize the market for animatronic harmonicas. They're gonna play themselves. Like it's always some weird thing you've never heard of. You think it's gonna be like a niche investment, but I don't know. If you think any of these things are gonna pay off, then you're playing yourself. You're an animatronic harmonica.
I mean, I'd invest in that. But more realistically, I just feel like yeah, things like this kind of just remind me of the 1920s, when
Yeah,
like everybody was like stonks and
yeah.
invested themselves right into a recession. But I feel like we're in a better spot than that, right? Like there are some sort
No.
of regulation stopping this.
Um, there's no regulation stopping you from losing all of your money, but that's why the
Oh, okay.
investment. That's why the investments are the best tool the scammer has because the risk of an investment also happens to be exactly what the scammer wants, which is you losing all your money.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's yeah. I mean, you just gotta. I think as long as you beware the locust tower, you're in good shape, though.
exactly. The locust tower. This is such conspiratorial thinking. It's like, oh yeah, so the locust tower means we got to sell all the stock. It's like someone being like, yeah, so the highest levels of the government now, it's all reptilians. We gotta storm the Capitol. So
The storm is coming. Yeah, I know
yeah,
what you mean.
right. What's Trump up to? Is he doing anything lately?
I don't, he actually just met with the head of the House of Representatives on the Republican side, Kevin McCarthy, and they're like, "We're gonna win 2022," and I was like, "Holy fuck,"
What?
Yeah, did you not see that?
No.
That was kind of the headline a few days ago when McCarthy flew down to Florida and was like, "Hey, what's up, Trumpy? No hard feelings about a few
Jesus.
weeks ago. We're in great shape. This is really going to turn it around."
Wow.
It's unreal.
I saw that he lost all of his attorneys for the impeachment hearing, and Bannon suggested he just goes by himself.
Yeah. What's wrong with Giuliani?
Exactly. I think that's how you know Bannon's a man of the people. He's like, you know what? Let's get him entertained. Let's at least have him represent himself. That'd be hilarious.
They're like, all right, how can we get two tigers into the Congress? Let's put on a fucking show.
He's gonna be represented by Joe Exotic, by a secret pardon.
We also got a cameo from Joe Rogan to play halfway through.
He's gonna be he's gonna be a judge.
Judge Rogan.
Judge Rogan.
Yeah, I support it. But yeah, that's what's going on in politics. So about the same as what's going on with GameStop.
Yeah, sounds like some crazy shit. Um, did you did I show you the QAnon shaman video?
No, who's that? What is that?
He was one of the guys who stormed the Capitol. The QAnon shaman is the guy with the horns who stormed the Capitol.
Oh, the guy with the fur?
Yeah, yeah, that's
Okay.
good. Yeah, I have a video of him. Um, I just put it up. I wanted to show you this interview with him. This is an interview with him before uh this all went down. This is sometime in the summer. So, yeah, I thought this would be a good opportunity as a mild conspiracy theorist to sort of introduce you to the world of conspiracies because I know you're not really you live in reality and I think I can show you a thing or two about what a lot of people believe. And I think it's sort of important, though, also to, like, know this stuff because what if you end up talking to someone like this? Or what if they're planning to, storm the Capitol and you want to prepare or something to not get fucked up? Like, it's kind of important to know a little bit about what these people think.
Yeah, just
Maybe.
to be able to spot it too. Like, oh,
Right.
that's not good. Sure.
Right. Yeah. Like dog whistling and stuff. Absolutely. Um, so yeah, I'll show you this. It starts out with like a little
Hey man,
montage
can I
of
get your
him.
thoughts?
Sure, what?
What do you have to say to those people who already accepted Biden as president?
All I have to say to people that already accepted Biden as president is that you are choosing to be a victim of what is called neuro-linguistic programming. It is a MK Ultra psychological warfare technique where they combine.
Let me just stop right here. So did any of that make sense to you?
I mean, why'd you stop? It seems like he was. It seems like it was only going to make more sense from there. No, none of it made. I really don't know what's going on. What the fuck is MK Ultra?
Well, MK Ultra, I talk about on this podcast every now and then. It was a CIA mind control operation. They really tried to do that for a while. They went pretty off the rails for a bit, and they did shit where they were drugging hookers and they were drugging Johns with LSD and having them have sex with hookers, and they were doing all this kinds of crazy shit. The Unabomber actually came out of MK Ultra, so MK Ultra is real. The rest of the stuff he's saying here is not. So it's really weird how you're gonna notice throughout this that they're going to reference things that are based in some reality and then extrapolate it to a ridiculous conclusion. So the biggest way of thinking that they have is like, if you like look at data of kids' spelling ability and their shoe size, you're going to be like, oh, well, the bigger the shoe gets, the more they're able to spell. We should stretch their feet. It's like, no, you're missing another piece of information that maybe as you get older, your shoe gets bigger, so you've learned more because you're older. Like that's like what these people do a lot. It's like, well, this and that. Are you seeing it? Because it's no, you're not seeing it. There's something else. Maybe that's why
Right.
maybe instead of calling them Nazis, we should call them not sees because there's something they're not seeing.
That's clever.
Very deep. Okay, let's get back to the QAnon shaman. I don't want to, I don't want to, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, give him a shot.
Frequencies that affect the brain
Yeah.
with propaganda and trigger words to get people to be what is called compartmentalized into a propagandized perspective of reality that they control. It's mass mind control. That way they can gear the populations for warfare. It's based on MK Ultra stuff that we got from Operation Paperclip with the Nazis.
Operation Paperclip. Do you know this one?
Wasn't that to bring the scientists in for NASA?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I've talked about this too, so it's good. This is working. You're inadvertently learning crazy shit. Um, but yeah, Operation Paperclip was at the end of World War II. America was like, so we could execute you guys, or you could come help us, get to space. And they were like, well, I was basically a scientist before. I'll just be a scientist again. And then they just scienced us into the space, and we got a bunch of Nazi technology and shit. Like, we just got a bunch of smart Nazis basically. So that is kind of real.
Right.
Like we did do that.
Oh, okay, that's good. The Nazis were like, I'm gonna need dental though. Like, no dental, no deal.
Yeah, I think one thing that's really interesting about him saying this though is that he says that MK Ultra came from Operation Paperclip, which is like, I don't know if this was just by chance, but MK Ultra did happen after Operation Paperclip, like a couple of years. So I don't know. He might have just gotten lucky here, but
I mean, one more thing. Like, whenever you say MK Ultra, I just think of like Michelob Ultra, and I think this should just be a great sponsorship opportunity. One other thing is that a fucking spear he has, like,
oh
holding
shit,
up
that is a
sign?
spear.
What the fuck?
That is a spear. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super scary, but I'm sure it's great to storm the Capitol with.
Do you think Michelob Ultra did have anything to do with MK Ultra?
I mean, I think we should ask this guy wherever he is. Probably held by the CIA.
They'll just get QAnon shaman to be the spokesman for MK Ultra, MK Michelob drink. Their new slogan's "Grab life by the horns."
I think if the market research made them go in that direction, they 100% would.
if
America.
market research told them that their new slogan was "Make America Great Again," they would. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the real show here. We're not gonna watch all 10 minutes of this.
And who?
Can you believe the gall on this guy not taking him seriously?
This
do you
is so
think the
unprofessional as a reporter.
Absolutely, I would never do this.
Clintons are in on it?
Okay, the Clintons are a part of the cabal. You see, the military-industrial complex is divided into two factions. One faction is known as the cabal. That's the Satanists and the communists, the fascists, okay? The other side is the alliance. Those are the patriots in our republic, the people that believe in the Constitution, believe in freedom, believe in God, okay? So these two war...
So, God is a huge part of this. I really don't know why. It's not like, most conspiracies are not really religious. Like, if anything, they're like anti-religion, right? Like, the Pope's a pedophile. Not a, that's a conspiracy because he might not be a pedophile, but he definitely enables them. So, but it's weird to me that it's all about God.
Like, right? Like, I have any idea what the fuck is that? Yeah,
Very
whatever this
fair.
guy says, let's just roll with.
It's just, I think it's really weird to me how they've basically galvanized a new foundation of conspiracy theorists by talking about God so much. It's really weird. Like, QAnon's all about God. Remember that episode of the podcast we did where we read through the QAnon post and we did like the gematria, whatever, like the numerology stuff?
Numerology, right?
Yeah.
And it was like the foundational text was scripture, right?
Yeah. The guy was
Okay.
like, we'll use all of our trusty tools, including Trump's tweets in the Bible. Like, what? That's how they're doing this.
Yeah. It's really, like the second he started talking about like the two factions of the military industrial complex, my eyes just kind of widened. I was like, this is very like psych wardy.
Yeah, no, it definitely, it's like a collective psychosis. It's really weird. I feel like a lot of it preys on the religious people because they already believe in such like fantastical stuff. Like, why not, throw in, also Nancy Pelosi's a Satanist.
That's a good point though. Like, how do you, yeah, Nancy Pelosi. You have a kind of the same thought, right? Like, how do you believe something with no proof? I mean, how far detached is it from just like a religious conviction and the belief of God?
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean? Like, how do you disprove that? How do you disprove any of this?
right, exactly. That's because these people are always like, prove it doesn't happen. Like, what? Like,
Which is immediately, yeah, incredibly a lot. Okay, let me break this down, just like this guy's doing.
Yeah.
I feel like every conspiracy theory or theorist has two issues with one, how logic works, and the other, how statistics works. The first one being like, you can't prove it. Like, it's a fallacious argument to say, okay, prove it didn't happen. Like, the burden of proof isn't on the right party there. And the second one is what you said, the confounding factor. Okay, so let's go ahead and say shoe size, equals like, what was it? Ability to read. There's just like no recognition that something else in the world could happen that could like cause both things to go on. And it's just like totally negating, just like basic logic and statistics that makes it, I think, so frustrating to try to prove anything wrong.
right.
Like, how can you do it at that point when, the rules of the game of logic don't apply?
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's all about, like faith, and then, I guess like philosophically, if you really were to get down to like the, most bare bones parts of this, like there are a lot of like axiomatic things that we truly can't ever prove, like I can't like prove cause and effect. We kind of have to like take that as an assumption, but like these people's assumptions are like, well, I think we all agree that Chuck Schumer likes to eat frog off of dead children. I feel like we can all agree that. It's like,
This guy should really just be a reporter instead of a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, hey, those are becoming more and more the same thing every day.
Woof.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to our true hero here.
Boring factions have been going at it for quite some time. Hillary Clinton is a part of the cabal.
Now, I know the first reaction I'm going to get from that is, what are your sources? Or just in general.
Okay, well, when it comes to Hillary Clinton, all you have to do is look into the emails.
So, like, this is a classic thing, too, where they just, like, don't really understand argumentation in any way, where he's like, so where's your evidence of MK Ultra and stuff? He's like, well, okay, so Hillary's emails. Like, what?
Weren't those the emails that she still has to release?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, or is he talking about the ones that were? It doesn't matter. He doesn't even know. He doesn't know. We don't
It
have to.
doesn't matter. Why are we getting so
We don't have
far
to figure it
with
out.
we-
We don't have to. We don't have to worry about it. We don't need to
Legit
help him.
follow-up.
He watches this and
Right?
he watches this
I
from
was
a
waiting
prison
for him to
phone.
bring up Hillary.
He watches this from a prison phone. He's like, that fucking podcast guy is smart.
I'll kill him.
All right, let's get back to it.
And the way that she's involved in spirit cooking with Marina Abramovic, who's a
Do you know about spirit cooking?
No.
Okay, so that's a thing where they do something with kids that's fucked up, and somehow it helps them get closer to Satan. I don't know.
Wait, is that where they like take their blood?
I think maybe, but I think that what you're talking about is adrenochrome, which is where they like scare the children, and then that gives them an adrenaline rush. And this is so ridiculous. Like I'm like, oh no, you're thinking about. But yeah, no, they
Yeah, right.
yeah, like apparently adrenochrome is like I believe I'm not 100% on this one. I think that's when they like try to scare the kids so they have adrenaline in their blood so that when they kill them and they get the blood to drink it or eat it or transfuse it, like they get the kids adrenaline or something. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but blood transfusions are a thing. Like wealthy people do get blood transfusions from young people. So like this is another one that's like based in like a little bit of truth, and that's something that we've talked about on the podcast before. I gave a source once, but yeah, it's a thing. I don't know. It's just another one of those things that's like kind of based in truth, and they're like, huh, some people get blood transfusions to help fight off aging. I bet Hillary Clinton kills children and makes them scared beforehand. So it's like, what? It's like, where are you getting this?
Yeah, how mad would you be to be Hillary Clinton just like as a person? She's like, I just want to be president. It's like, you drink children's blood, it's in your emails. You haven't read the emails. So there are emails? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like
It must
so
be
frustrating.
It must be really frustrating because she's like, God, I'm just trying to eat the kid's blood in peace. But no,
You fucker,
yeah.
shut up.
It's the same thing though. It's like it's in the emails. Like which emails? They haven't shown us them. Okay, great, cool, good
Got
for
it.
you. It's the same thinking about the Robin Hood stuff with GameStop. It's like, whoa, they suspended trading. Why? Oh, they must want to protect the hedge funds. Like no, they needed money. Like there's a third variable that's always missing for like everybody on the internet. It seems like.
Yeah, the internet's a dangerous, crazy place. But let's keep watching this video from the internet.
Yeah, let's keep contributing to the internet with our podcast as well.
known satanic witch. Hillary Clinton is a satanic witch, okay? All you have to do is say the word frazzle drip, okay? People don't want to look it up because it's so disgusting, okay?
Frazzle drip. This is one that is, there is supposedly a video on Anthony Weiner's computer called Frazzle Drip of Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin killing a child, and then Hillary cuts the face of the child off and wears it in the video.
Wow, very Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like, some of these things are like, to what end? Like, what? Is it not enough? Like, what they're doing is not enough? They gotta keep up in the ante? They can't just kill the kid and get the blood, they gotta wear the face? Like, what is happening here?
Yeah, I think once you start asking why, you really open up a can of worms, so...
Yeah, I don't know if these people really could tell you either, but let's keep going.
Frazzle drip.
Frazzle drip.
What is that?
I really don't want to talk about it because it's so
Okay,
disgusting.
Well, frazzle drip. Podesta emails, right? You were talking
and
about.
Clinton emails, because keep in mind, there were Clinton emails that got exposed too, and in some of these emails, she's talking about going to torture night and bringing a
No, she's not.
hammer. She's talking about things like going to spirit cooking events with John Podesta and with Marina Abramovic, who is a known satanic witch.
I believe it's...
Who is a known satanic? I want
Yeah.
to see a Wikipedia article written by this guy. Just like sources, like everything is Hillary's email, and this is widely known.
Yeah, we all found out. Yeah, like, it's so ridiculous. Like, I don't even know where to go from here sometimes. Like, I think there is something in the emails about them going to a thing with Marina Abramovic, but, like, she's, like, a famous artist. Like, you don't fucking know what she's gonna do when they get there. Like, she's a psycho. Who cares? Like, it doesn't... They're a politician. They go do anything. It doesn't matter. That's not like they're... Actually, wait a second. If they'll do anything, maybe they will take the children's blood. Let's get back. All right,
Wow,
he's convincing me. Let's get back into it.
This has been a crazy 2 minutes.
By the end of the video, we're all like, so, yeah, where we go one, we go all. And, yeah, the Great Awakening storm's coming. Just trust the plan. See you guys later. Like we get convinced by this somehow.
I'm just so impressed and flabbergasted at all the details you're remembering. One final question is, do you accept the results of the Arizona elections, of the ballots?
Well, not all the ballots are counted here in Arizona according to the narrative. And the fact of the matter is, no, I do not accept whatever it is that these people. They tried to call Arizona with 75% of the votes called. That's Fox News. Okay? That's fake Fox News.
Why do you think they would push for that?
This is psychological warfare techniques. Okay, look into Operation Paperclip. Okay? And then look into Operation Mockingbird. Okay?
Operation Mockingbird is a CIA operation to control the media during the Cold War. I believe to like turn Americans against communism, which clearly didn't work. Just kidding. It seems to work pretty well. All right.
Okay, Operation Paperclip was where we procured over 1,500 Nazi scientists and doctors and brought them into our highest levels of the space program, of the intelligence community, which means the CIA, of the political establishment, okay? And in the process, they infiltrated our nation, and they're trying to bring it down from within. They tried to take over the industrial power that is the United States, okay? And they did so successfully for quite some time until Donald Trump took office.
There's the rub of it. Donnie is fixing it all.
There it is. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad that he brought up Hillary and then Donald in chronological order. This makes me feel like he's got some sense to him. Yeah. This is wow. It's so much in 3 minutes from one person. It's also crazy that there's so many people there who, even though they're not dressed in full like God of War regalia, still probably believe a lot of this,
Yeah.
like and they all like you can't. Here's a question. So how the CIA and the FBI and for a large part like Homeland Security probably use like racial profiling, especially after 9/11 for like the longest time.
Yeah.
To sort through and try to find terrorists. How do you profile like a white dude at the airport who believes in like QAnon and wants to take down the government? It's just like, all right, his mask is below his chin and top his steel tattoo on his right bicep. All right, well, let's pull him aside.
I think that you just look for the mark of the beast, the MAGA hat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
nobody can wear a red hat anymore either.
Red hats are totally out. Yeah. Red hats, red armbands, all out.
Oh.
They're not seeing things. They're the Nazis. I think that it's such a better story, though. Like what he just told, where he's like, yeah, so the satanic pedophiles have been collaborating for years to take over the world, and Donald Trump has come to... It's a much better story than we've been working for decades for incremental progress, passing policy. And like, it's not a good story, but it's so much more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, our story is actually pretty boring. Like, America is locked in horrible incentives in terms of our politics, leading to definitely a decline in being able to do anything substantial in the legislature and with the White House. And then you look at other countries like China that are rapidly outpacing us and probably will at some point. And you're like, all right, well, what story do I really want to believe here? Is it that the military complex is influenced by Project Paperclip and Michelob Ultra, or is it reality? And I think one is just more compelling, like if you're going to turn on the TV, which one do you want to watch?
I mean, it's the same reason also why people are buying into and spreading all this GameStop bullshit. It's so much more fun to say, we're fighting Wall Street, we're taking down the hedge funds, Marina Ambrovic is a big investor in shorting GameStop. Like it's the same shit, but it's just, people want to feel like they're like a part of something or like that they like get it, but yeah, it's totally stupid. I don't care how much Hillary loses on GameStop or AMC, like just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she shorted that a long time ago and probably regrets it.
Yeah.
It's really going to cut into her blood transfusion fund.
Does anyone really think that GameStop is worth $55 billion? That's like the price target of the Wall Street best people.
Yeah, I'm shocked that GameStop has hung around this long, to be honest. Like,
real estate,
who
man.
goes into a GameStop?
I don't know. I assume that they own a lot of real estate. I don't know if do you think they lease a lot of who cares? I was looking up their EBITDA. I was looking up their financials this morning because I just wanted to see how outrageous all of this stuff was, and they're not doing great. Um, Needless to
Yeah, man, they're
say.
basically Blockbuster, right? For video game. Like you can literally download everything a lot quicker on your Xbox or whatever the fuck. Like who's going in there? The people that want like the little toys?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I guess like a console maybe is like the thing you go for now, but how often does a new console come out? Like never. Who cares?
I'd just like to take a moment and thank our sponsors, GameStop and Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, you can enjoy a game on the house and have a Michelob Ultra at your nearest AMC theater.
Just use the passcode.
Where we go one, we
Hillary's
go all.
email.
Has go to Hillary's emails. Shillary's emails.
Oh, should we? Is there anything else in this video that's worthwhile to watch?
I think there's like 1 second left. Yeah.
JFK tried to take it from him, okay, and so did Eisenhower when he threatened to storm Area 51 if they didn't tell him what the hell was going on, okay? And ever since then, the alliance has been fighting with the cabal, okay? And they killed JFK just like they perpetrated 9/11, just like they perpetrated COVID in 1984, just like they perpetrated this voter.
I've never heard that. COVID
That's a
1984.
new one. Wow.
Oh, that's fucking good.
fraud shit.
Okay, one last follow-up question. You seem like a knowledgeable person.
No. Okay. So.
I like how he nods at that. He's like, yeah.
Yeah. I know. I what can I do to convince you that it's not just that I seem like I am one, but I really am one?
How do you think events are going to play out for the next 4 years? What's your prediction?
God wins. Trump wins. America wins. And the world will be freed of communism forever. Okay, we are setting the example here in the United States that this communist New World Order can and will fail. That these communist revolutions can and do fail. And yes, you can in your country take your nation back from these globalists, from these communists who have infiltrated your government. Because guys, Q sent me. And if you don't know who Q is, oh, did it shut down?
No.
Okay, if you don't know.
Did he ask if it shut down because he thought that, like, as soon as he mentioned Q, the stream would just be cut, like everyone's watching him?
Of course he did.
These people are probably into, like, the gang stalking conspiracies as well. Do you know that one?
Are those little? No, I don't know that one.
That's the one where people think that, like, groups of people are, like, stalking them. Like, there's, like, some, like, insidious organization trying to, like, track them, and they have, like, multiple people, and, like, it's like a paranoid delusion.
Okay, so it's just like members of, like, some sort of like mental health administration trying to get these people into facilities.
It should be. That's a great idea. I think no, you got to use the thinking to help them. Like that guy who goes into the anti-vax groups and he's like, yeah, so I found this thing. If you get a vaccine, if you put a potato on the site of the vaccine, it'll suck out all the toxins. Just throw out the potato. Do not eat it. Like, that's what he does. He goes out and he uses misinformation to combat misinformation.
Wow. Is that where we are? Just like as a people?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's not
That's
helpful to think about what do you really want? Do you want people to be able to think for themselves, or do you just want whatever you want to happen? So if I can try to convince you and make you learn about how a vaccine works or something, that's one thing. But wouldn't it just be so much easier if I said, no, so actually Hillary doesn't want you to put a potato on your inside, that'll fix it. It's like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. Like, that's so much easier.
Yeah, just got to meet him halfway.
Yeah.
I guess that's where we're at. That's so depressing. Well, that's great that, he's got this little placard that says Q sent me. Are those little like COVID viruses that he's got on there, or those satellites like Sputnik?
It looks like
I can't tell.
It looks like that's some COVID. Yeah, it's very cute of him. Let's listen to his.
When was this taken?
This was I'm not sure.
Like, was this during COVID?
This was during COVID. Yeah, this was the
Okay,
summer.
great.
Yeah, this was the summer. You can tell because no one is wearing masks in Arizona.
Well, that's why I asked. I was like, is is this like COVID like crazy, or is this just like normal?
Dude,
Well, whatever.
they don't even believe in like English language down there. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, "Oh no, in my version of English, Hillary Clinton emails, it actually translates to evidence-based policy." That's just a difference we have.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that that's what's happening. All right, let's give him his little rant here at the end.
You know who Q is? Q is the highest levels of the military and the intelligence community in the United States. And they are disseminating above top secret information to patriots in our republic so that we can take back our nation from the communists and the globalists who have infiltrated our government at some of the highest levels and some of the lowest levels with these polls, okay, and these pollsters. And they're trying to bring it down from within so they can create a new world order, a one world government where America is wiped off the map, where our Constitution is voided because of international law. But it isn't going to fucking happen. We won't let it happen. We have their playbook. Cloward and Piven, all right? You know Cloward and Piven, the playbook? The
Nope.
Rules for Radicals, Saul Alinsky? We have their playbook. And what happens when you have the opposition's playbook? They lose.
So don't we have Q's playbook? I mean, is that
I I wouldn't try to push back on it. I do like how the reporter was like, No."
yeah. You seem like an knowledgeable guy. He's just like the ultimate troll. He's like has a MAGA hat for one, and then he's got like a grab 'em by the pussy hat for like the other march. He just asks everybody dumb questions.
That's undercover work nowadays. Like you just
Yeah.
put on a fucking hat.
I feel like yeah, that's how to do it. Let's see his rant here though. He has a good rant.
And they're pissed because Donald Trump got the highest level of executive power in the nation, and he's cleaning house from the top down. And we're cleaning house from the bottom up as citizens and as patriots because of the Q movement. The alliance is behind Q, you guys. Q is the highest level security clearance you could possibly have. Okay, it's above top secret, and the information they are disseminating is very, very real. Our whole system is owned and controlled through blackmail. It's owned and controlled through blackmail because of child sex trafficking rings and human trafficking rings. It's
Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, you know, partially true. This is if this was like this is a mixture, I think.
essentially the slave trade, the modern day slave trade. And there are more slaves now in the world than there ever has been in the history of this planet. Literally like 20 million, 25 million slaves, men, women, and children. And most of the time they're sex slaves and they are kept in cages. Okay? We have to end all of that, and we are ending all of that here in Arizona. By taking Arizona back, we are ending it on a global scale because Arizona, Phoenix, is number 2 in the world for human and child trafficking. So when we bring it down here, and we will, when we end the corruption in Arizona, and we will, when we take Arizona back, and we will, we're going to...
When we all get arrested for treason, and we will. Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, I wanted you to see this fella.
Yeah, what an ambitious policy agenda.
Yeah, I mean, he laid it out pretty clearly, I thought.
Yeah, I'd vote for him for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild, man. Thanks for showing me that. I don't know if I'm better off for seeing that, but I'm definitely more informed about what's out there. Part of me is kind of glad that COVID keeps me away from people because I don't need to interact with this kind of stuff. But yeah, super horrifying.
Yeah.
Super horrifying.
And because of COVID, a lot of those people are just interacting with that stuff for 20 hours a day.
Yeah,
their
for
phone.
real. Like when you don't leave your house. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You're either trading or scrolling. What are these sites that you access this information? Is it like 4chan? Is it Reddit? Is it how do you find this?
How do you find this? I mean, so it kind of depends. I try not to like keep too much on it, but I do think that like 4chan is definitely like a source of this. Parlor Watch was a pretty good one for a bit. There's also greatawakening.win, which is like fucking those people are unbelievably stupid. It's amazing. But yeah, I mean, like it's all in like these weird like back channel places, and then that's probably how like it spreads misinformation so much. I probably don't know like the latest developments or anything because I don't really look at it. I don't care that much, but I presume that there's probably like a lot of other shit that they're talking about right now. And the one thing too that I would point out is that like if you want to get like all of the craziest shit like from the source, like that's not so much as what's important. It's just that like you can find references to all this stuff on like mainstream conservative channels. Like you can go on like the conservative Reddit and like see shit there, and you can go on like any of the like Republican stuff, like the left can't meme and all that shit, and just like even like basic stuff is like kind of referencing Q. It's really bizarre.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like OAN.
yeah, OAN, yeah, like that kind of stuff. Infowars, of course, like except Infowars has been pretty anti-Q for a long time, but
Oh, great.
like yeah, there's actually a video of Alex Jones telling people to stop storming the Capitol, which is amazing. Like while it's happening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's like got a
Yep.
megaphone and he's like, "Stop! Don't do it."
Yeah.
That's
Also,
what
I've
they
got
want.
a product you need to buy.
This is what they want. They want you to storm the Capitol. That's not what I want. That's not what patriots do. Patriots buy my supplements.
Use this discount code. Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. I'm just kind of like lost on. I guess I'm glad that this hasn't made its way onto Fox News, but it is kind of funny that all those stories came out that once Fox was like, okay, let's take a more realistic track against Trump, and say that he lost.
Yeah.
All of these people were like, dump Fox. Fox is working for whatever. You're just really like, there's no way to negate any of this in their minds. Like I actually just listened to a New York Times liberal elite podcast on
Don't make that
like,
mistake.
just interviewing conspiracy theorists and like
Oh my God, really?
like yeah
Should we
it's
do
really
that?
good. It's from the Daily.
Can
I
we
mean
get one on?
probably yeah, sure.
That'd be a good idea.
You should totally give it a listen. I did it to prepare for what this guy had to say, and yeah, it was just it was like wow, there's nothing you can do. So I don't know. I guess that's that.
Wow. Yeah. I would be interested to listen to that. I think it would be funny to get a conspiracist on here, like a real convinced one, and just be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Huh. Weird. Yeah. No, yeah, this is yeah, it's a good idea. Come on the show.
You seem like a knowledgeable guy.
Oh man, we should if he's in jail, maybe we can call him. Do you think we could call QAnon Shaman in jail?
Yeah, I'm sure we could.
Should
Just
we write
like
him a
look
letter?
up. Oh, I'm sure we could.
Okay, we're
but
gonna try to get
probably
QAnon
analyze it.
Shaman on here then.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we can. Part of his parole.
Yeah, you have to do the Warren Buffett podcast. Okay, let's do it. I can't wait to tell the people. He just comes out and he's all up on GameStop already. He's like, "There's fucking globalists."
He's like, he knows us like very intimately. He's like, Matt, Steve, how you guys doing?
Great to be here. Long time listener. That explains a lot. That explains a lot about this show.
It really does.
Oh man. I first got into you guys because of the conspiracy stuff, but then I started investing. I got a lot of Dogecoin.
A lot of Dogecoin.
He comes out. He's got
Also-
a Doge sent me sign.
Also, that guy you brought on, Jason, fuck that guy.
He has no shit. He actually wrote all of Hillary's emails.
He's in the cabal.
Oh man, that'd be amazing. So what do you think Trump is up to? You think he keeps up with this stuff? You think he's into Q?
I'm glad you brought that up. My mental image of our former president is that he is just so uncaring about all of this. He's just, looking at these people, just like kind of doing his bidding and believing in all these conspiracy theories. And he's like, that looks like a voter to me, but like just not giving it. And then, just like getting like his feet rubbed by like solid gold hands and like from town. I don't know, whatever the super wealthy dude that isn't related to the cabal.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. It might not be that much, but whatever it is. Have you? He's just hanging out at Mar-a-Lago, right? Like that's where he's at.
Yeah, to my knowledge, he's just kind of hanging out. You know what's funny? That community, apparently he entered into like a deal in the 90s that he could never live there. And
What?
they were like, yeah, yeah. And they were apparently that,
Huh.
yeah, he was like banned from living there as like some sort of settlement of some sort of bankruptcy or whatever. But yeah, he could use it as a hotel or some sort of part, but he could never
Weird.
make it a residential property. And he's just like, no, I'm back. Tell it to the Secret Service.
Damn. Yeah, I mean there is like I know that there's rules about like what types of financing you can get based on the status of the buildings. Like you can get different financing if you're gonna live there or if you're just gonna rent it all out completely. So like if it's like a multi-unit building like Mar-a-Lago, you probably get different financing options if it's an investment property versus a residential that like you rent out extra space in. So yeah, I mean maybe as part of the bankruptcy he had to like actually start he probably had to like correctly evaluate it or something. And they were like, yeah, you can't live there. Have you
Yeah,
seen what
his
Mar-a-Lago looks like?
yeah, it's huge. I bet when he moved into the White House, he was like, "What a fucking bummer."
I pulled up the tab of it. I want to show you what this thing. I just want to look at it. Like, I want to show it and look at like what even happens here. This thing looks like a Russian oligarch's wet dream. Oh my God.
I was gonna say it looks like Putin's mansion.
Jesus. This is for people who are listening to this audio only, we're looking at pictures of. Is this Putin's palace? Is this the thing that Navalny was talking about, or is this
It
Mar-a-Lago?
looks like it.
Dude,
Yeah. Wow.
did Nav-
That's crazy.
so this room is like all gold. It's got a 20-foot ceiling. There's a marble staircase that looks like it goes to nothing. All of everything's super ornate. Like there's just details on everything. It looks like I don't know. It looks like Liberace like died in here and just exploded into the walls. I don't know. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, looks like Versailles, doesn't it? You know, like
Yeah.
King Louis would be proud. He'd be like, "Wow, this place is fucking all right."
No wonder he wanted to be president. He's like, I got the house. I gotta get the power to go along with it. Can anyone buy that?
I think he wanted. I think he wanted another 4 years just to finish decorating the White House.
Oh my God. Do you think that place is a tacky shithole now? Do you think he made it all gold and stuff?
I'm sure at least the drapes are gold.
Do you think he like slept there? Like, did he sleep there at night? He probably hated it. He was probably like, "Oh, this fucking shithole." The
Surrounded by poor people. Fuck this.
he's upset that like it wasn't like he was. Maybe I'll edit this out. He wasn't upset. He was like, at least I got to kick a black guy out of here before I left here. But he probably slept. I don't know. Is that bad? Should I edit that out?
I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
Probably.
Whatever. That's why I'm an ISIS.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah. I mean, this ballroom's got what is that? 24 chandeliers. I'm counting. Holy crap.
wow.
Yeah. Pool's nice. Got a white sand beach. Um, these are just like regular rooms and stuff. This dining hall looks like a medieval dining hall. It's so dark. It's like a dungeon in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's all so ornate. How much does it cost to stay a night here?
I don't know. That's a great question. Let's take a look. How much does it cost to stay a night here? Like, is it a hotel? Is that what it is?
Oh, I think it's a country club, right?
Uh, I don't know. Let's see. Mar-a-Lago prices. Okay, so the fee,
Whoa.
I guess it's 200,000, and then the 14,000 a year, and overnight guests pay 2,000 a night.
So it looks like you pay 200,000 and then you pay 14 like as a one, stop fee and then you pay 14,000 a year, but if you just want to, stay a night there, you pay 2 grand.
If you're a guest, yeah. So if you want to just
Right.
if you want to like take a guest there, I guess you're looking at like 216 grand minimum.
Oh, jeez. Do you think like when foreign leaders came to visit, they were like, "All right, so where am I staying?" And they're like, "Well, hold on, that'll be $2,000."
I'm gonna email this guy on this contact page. Contact Bernard Lemick, managing director. Here's his email to arrange an appointment to discuss fees. I will send him an email from the Warren Buffett podcast at gmail.com. That ought to get
Super
things going.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get a cease and desist.
Yeah, from Trump.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I think that this home is quite astounding. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this like tacky like wood everywhere. Like this wood ceiling and this little couch in front of the bed. Fat fuck gotta sit down after get out of bed, huh?
How many people from the conspiracy channel networks, the Q networks, do you think have actually gone here?
Less than that have been to the Capitol.
Yeah, I think that's a good estimate.
Yeah. I think that there's literally nothing funnier than I mean, if they had actually killed anyone, it would have been a problem. But like if they killed any real like politicians and stuff, that would have been a big deal. But it's pretty amazing that these people all just walked into the ultimate honeypot of literally the Capitol with a GPS enabled device in their pocket. Like, how stupid.
That's pretty amazing. You know what this kind of reminds me of though? This reminds me the Mar-a-Lago thing. It kind of reminds me of the mansion from Scarface, and I'm just like imagining, like a different reality where instead of Q, it was like P or something, and everybody instead of like hating Congress, hated the president, and storm this, and it's just like Trump mowing people down.
Say hello to my little friend, and it's him. It's him tweeting. It's a tweet that's it's a tweet that says, "Hey guys, turns out it was actually okay. Hillary and I are good friends. Just don't worry about it."
Yeah, might be. Just kidding.
I saw that the Capitol riot thing. Like those people are we're actually really lucky that those people are total morons, right?
How so?
I mean, they were stupid enough to walk in with their phones and take pictures of themselves and organize all of this on Facebook. I mean, they're not smart. The guy was saying in the video, QAnon Shaman was saying, we have their playbook. It's like, yeah, we have yours too. You won't shut up about it.
Yeah, I guess, man, there's so much to unpack there and so much that I just want to leave behind for forever. But yeah, no, I don't think these are like the brightest minds in America.
No.
I think you're on the money there, and neither are they the most wealthy. Though I did read somewhere that like a lot of them actually work kind of high income,
Yeah.
which is weird. But yeah. I've just got to know, at this point, like what's the overlap between people who got arrested at the Capitol and how many of them spent a night at Mar-a-Lago? Or
there's got to be at least one.
It's got to be. There's got to be just one. It's Pelosi. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
The conspiratorial thinking and stuff. Like I don't know. Just I feel like we're really. It is really good though that most of them are just colossal morons. It only takes like one or two smart ones, like someone like Bin Laden, to actually like make something happen. But I don't see that in this group happening. Like I feel like people love to be scared. Like the left wing, like they love to be scared, whereas like the right actually kind of like gets something right about this. They understand that their opposition is a total joke. Like
the right wing's opposition.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, Antifa, a bunch of limp-wristed kids from the suburbs. They want to go burn down a Wendy's and go home in their mom's Range Rover. Like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. They've actually kind of got that. But we, on the other hand, are like, oh, these people have guns. Like, no, they walked single file through the rope when they walked into the Capitol. They're not to be. They're lemmings. They're literal lemmings. They walked through a guided path when they broke in.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just radicalized, right? It is kind of funny, right? Like this whole idea of the radicalized left, and you're just like, well, maybe we're missing it. But
kind of. I mean,
yeah,
I just don't think either side is that big of a deal. Like people were talking on Twitter, like, oh, they have a naval warfare manual that's like, they were saying that like the Q people had a naval warfare manual they were circulating. Like, are you worried there's gonna be a lot of like water-based combat at the Capitol that's gonna like what are you
It's
talking
just like
about?
Iwo Jima.
It's just
Yeah.
like fear for fear's sake. Like each side is like the fear's like, oh, they're gonna bring guns to the Capitol. It's like, oh, they're gonna take the children's blood. Like it's I don't know, just so much of it is like so ridiculous. Like the two parties are not anywhere near the same, but the people who are just like super extreme on both sides are equally delusional. It seems.
I would say they're just more delusional people on the right. Like that's a larger percentage of the people,
Okay, sure,
than
I can see that.
those on the left that are just super radicalized anarchists. But that's my take, and apparently very open to interpretation based on just turning on cable news.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm glad you showed me this. Like I said, I feel more well informed just about so many things. Like just how opulent the Mar-a-Lago club is, and B, how much this looks like Putin's club, and then C, everything from a conspiracy theorist on just how this all connects. And it would be kind of funny if the next time we got together in our studio with my new mic, that I was just like wearing a shirt that said "Believe Q."
see, it's actually funny because that's really funny because I'm actually wearing a shirt that says that. So
Oh my god,
we'll just share.
God, I
Yeah.
missed it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you found this informative. Kind of. I'm glad and horrified. I don't really know. This is definitely like hopefully entertainment, which is why I kind of look at this stuff. But yeah, it's super fucked up. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. We're coming up at about an hour over here. So, is there anything you want to say? Any final words before we head out of here?
Yeah, I would say that like, follow, subscribe, and if you really want to go the extra mile, go ahead and shoot me over that GameStop stock that you just got sitting in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Thanks, followers.
I would say as well, like, comment, subscribe, storm your local capital. Politics is really about the local level, so
No, don't do that.
yeah, probably not actually. If I could actually make a recommendation, it would be to just shut the fuck up. Stop putting
I love
anything
it.
on Facebook. Stop giving me your opinion. It's wrong.
That's right. Only ours is right.
Look up a third variable, huh?
Take one class in statistics. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Everybody, stop posting podcasts so that we're the only option. Good night.